Welcome. This is Micah Fairchild, Editor-in-Chief of PayrollLab.com, and today we'll be discussing NuView Payroll's competitive differences, aspects of the system where we see improvements can be made, and our overall impression of the solution. Now that's a tall order to fill in less than 10 minutes, but I'll have my colleague Chuck Schaefer, CEO of Vantive Media, to help me out. Welcome, Chuck. I appreciate you spending your time with us today to help cover all we have to talk about with regards to NuView.
You're welcome, Micah. This is actually an interesting global payroll system that I enjoy exploring and exchanging thoughts, so I'm pleased to be a part of the conversation.
Fantastic. Okay, so we've had some cursory coverage of NuView and our highlight reel of the top 10 payroll solutions, but our depth was a bit limited by our time constraints. Off the bat, though, what is it about the NuView payroll solution that you think would appeal the most to businesses seeking out a new payroll application?
That's a good lead-in question. Well, in addition to the software customization tools and compensation management flexibility we highlighted for NuView in our prior top 10 payroll video discussion, I'd say another point of differentiation for NuView is the simple business process automation toolset, which comes with a variety of specific capabilities permitting automation of business processes and workflows. For example, even though NuView's workflow designer appears to be similar to an XML document, users don't need programming skills to set up workflows, just a basic understanding of simple syntax and familiarity with NuView tools. This puts the power of business and payroll process automation into the hands of administrators or business analysts and enables organizations to automate activities that otherwise unnecessarily require human intervention, in effect decreasing manual efforts and process cycle times and increasing system automation and software payback. Then you've got the capability with this system to create workflow process audit trails with their to-do generator, and NuView's solution comes with a notification engine that allows event triggers or alerts or notices to be created and targeted for specific roles and times.
Good eye on that one, Chuck. I think far too often, buyers who get swept up in some of the flashier features miss out and forget to dig down into the real substance of an application. And workflow automation is one of those really powerful tools that can help transform a company by automating what would otherwise be manual business processes. Now, my only other addition to that list you just mentioned there in the BPA category would be NuView's Wizard Builder, which gives clients the functionality to link forms. That is to say, the data is entered on one form and the user is led to the next in an automatic sequence. Now, of course, anytime you start talking about how payroll data is entered and manipulated in the system, you're bound to need to discuss reporting. And NuView, in my opinion, doesn't disappoint there either. For example, other than the default Crystal Reports Writer, that's practically an industry standard. You've got NuView's Report Writer, which is basically just a beefed up visual layout tool that can be used for multi-layered, multivariable content delivery from NuView's database. Plus, NuView also has added a query design tool, and that can be used for options such as performing mass updates, even selecting benefits criteria for eligibility questions. What I think is particularly nice about this functionality is that it's handled via user table and field exposure, and that leverages both natural language and form model queries for ease of use.
Good points. Of course, advanced users also have the option of SQL select statements, but the main takeaway here is that NuView provides options, even providing the opportunity to tag on additional fields and tables with the system's underlying toolset, which can make the system more extensible and provide options for systems integration. Continuing from your point about data access, another area that we hear as important to customers when talking about payroll data is where client and personally identifiable information are stored. And for NuView, with data centers in Massachusetts and California, it would suggest that while the company supports a global customer base, most of the company's customers are here in the States. And as to be expected, both data centers hold SSAE 16, or what are still often called SAS 70 Type 2, and Safe Harbor certifications. But it's worth noting that NuView does not possess an ISO 27001 certification, which is by far more globally recognized, and a more prescriptive attestation and tends to be much more meaningful in terms of uptime assurance and information security. I mentioned this point as NuView is a global payroll provider, and many countries beyond the U.S., Western Europe, and Australia continue to have reservations with software as a service and cloud delivery, so it would seem reasonable to provide the industry's most recognized global attestation in terms of data handling, internal controls, uptime assurance, and information security in order to help allay these concerns.
Thanks for addressing that ISO certification, Chuck. I actually had that on my list too. Now, speaking of other areas for improvement, though, I think prospective buyers should also understand that NuView's architecture is single tenant, and therefore it can't deliver for either the vendor or its clients the hosting or cloud efficiency and pace of innovation typical of multi-tenant SaaS models that are leveraged by other vendors. That's not to say that NuView doesn't have this on their radar, or that newer technology changes won't alter those issues. But for now, if your organization is aiming to fully take advantage of system updates as opposed to upgrades, or the scalability of a true cloud or SaaS deployment, you might need to broaden your shortlist beyond just NuView.
That's a valid point, and I especially like your point about changes that could take place in the industry. After all, while multi-tenant payroll software is the cloud deployment method of choice right now, market factors will assuredly influence the growth of one model over the other going forward. For instance, if cost pressures continue to grow, multi-tenant database architectures will become even more popular. But if global or regional concerns regarding cloud adoption due to perceived data privacy or regulatory compliance issues such as Sarbanes-Oxley, HIPAA, or Gramm-Leach-Bliley further escalate, or we see a trend of high-profile security breaches or data compromises, then information security will further move to the forefront, and it's quite possible more businesses would reject a single-tenant model, which logically separates data, but also commingles data in a common database. Bottom line, right now there is no one best answer in terms of cloud database architectures and security models that serve all interest.
Good points, and fair enough, for sure. Now, as we come to a close here on NuView's Payroll, what takeaways would you leave our viewers with who are contemplating deploying the solution?
Maybe a few closing comments regarding software fit. First, NuView's payroll solution is available as a hosted, in-house, or third-party integrated solution, and very few differences actually exist between the hosted and in-house packages. The two major exceptions to this rule are that with an in-house package, organizations can process their payroll according to their own schedule, while the hosted package allows for real-time, no-batch payroll processing. Second, beyond NuView's global customer target market, the company doesn't really target specific industries, but what I've seen is that many NuView clients come from a small number of vertical markets, including healthcare, finance, construction, manufacturing, and biotechnology. If your organization is part of one of these verticals, NuView should probably be on your payroll vendor shortlist. And finally, if your payroll software selection objectives venture beyond cost, efficiency, and compliance type goals and the best-of-breed payroll capabilities like NuView provides, and more so, seek a payroll solution that is part of an end-to-end business suite or includes robust talent management functionality, or you have immediate needs for a strong mobile and social media capability, then NuView may not be the best solution for your business.
That's very true. And I'm sure that Chuck can attest to this, but you had a chance to talk with NuView CEO Shafiq Lakhandwala not that long ago, and it's rare to get the candor from a vendor that if the match isn't there, they'll tell you. So NuView is just as adamant about we are where your needs fit with their solutions. And on that note, I think it's time that we call it a wrap on NuView's payroll solution. So thanks for joining us for this conversation, and be sure to tune in next time as we continue our exploration of the nexus of payroll processes, payroll strategies, and technology.